I have 2 weeks to leave my husband. I'm secretly preparing for this, but I think he knows about it. I'm scared. I am a 29-year-old woman who has been married to my husband, Alex, a 30-year-old man, for 7 months. Alex and I met during our freshman year in college and started off as friends before eventually getting married. While I have had a cordial relationship with his family, we aren't particularly close but maintain a friendly rapport. Recently, Alex's behavior has made me extremely uncomfortable. He has started asking for detailed information about my outings whenever I leave the house without him, who I'm meeting, where we're going, what our plans are, and how long I'll be out. Initially, I thought he was being a protective and considerate partner, but his actions have escalated. He now checks my phone after my visits and researches each of my friends. Additionally, he has been pressuring me to link my bank account to his, claiming he should be in charge of our finances, even though he was previously fine with keeping them separate. This has led to daily arguments between us. The situation reached a breaking point yesterday when Alex was preparing for a 2-week work trip to California. He demanded that I wear a tracker so he could monitor my whereabouts while he's away. I feel suffocated by his controlling behavior. When I spoke to his family about my concerns, they dismissed them, saying he is just being careful and protective as a good husband should be. I have decided that I need to leave before he returns home. Alex has always threatened that he would file for divorce immediately if he ever suspected me of cheating. He even keeps a filled-out copy of divorce papers in his desk. I plan to submit those papers the day I leave. However, there is so much to do: finding a new place to live, checking if my job offers any transfer opportunities, and packing and moving within 2 weeks. His return flight is on May 11th, so I need to act quickly. I'm posting here because I don't have close family members to turn to, and I can't risk involving our mutual friends. I just needed a place to vent and seek advice on the safest and most efficient way to execute my plan. Edit. Thank you all for your amazing support. I hadn't considered not using his divorce papers. I'll make sure to check for cameras before I start any packing or preparations. I might also shred his divorce papers just in case and look into hiring a lawyer for myself. Fortunately, I'm in a no-fault divorce state, which will simplify the process. I'll update again when I have more information. The tracker he wants me to wear is a small clip intended for my belt or waistband. I'll wear it unless I'm doing something related to my departure. Thankfully, we don't have any pets yet. Update. I've received a lot of support and helpful advice along with some questions that I thought I should clarify before proceeding with my update. Some people asked why I would be hiding things from Alex regarding my outings and who I'm meeting with. To clarify, I don't hide anything from him and have nothing to hide. However, the problem arises when he starts double-checking everything I tell him with the other people who were there, right down to each person I talked to and what I said. He asks if I sent any text messages, if I ordered food, how much I ate. This is when it started to feel like I was slowly being pushed into a corner. It didn't start off this bad, but has gradually grown worse over time. All of the Reddit subs my in-laws are part of are related to gardening and DIY projects, so I highly doubt they'll see this. If they do, hopefully I'll be gone by then. I talked to my job and explained the situation to my manager. They promised to look into openings in other states to see if they could place me in one. They will have an update on that in 3 days. I trust that my bank account is secure, considering Alex has tried to access it before and failed. I found one camera in the kitchen, another in the living room, and one in our bedroom. I've left them in place for now and have done all other planning either in the bathroom pretending I'm taking a bath. I'm honestly staying away from domestic violence services because my sister-in-law is unfortunately higher up in those services since she volunteers there. I have a feeling that if I did show up there, they would know in a heartbeat. I can't look for apartments until I get the update from my work, but regardless, I'm still going to be leaving the state. The day before I leave, I will change my phone carrier and wipe my laptop and all of his electronics. I've met with 2 lawyers so far and had them look over the paperwork my husband had prepared. Both said that it had some clauses that could have caused me trouble down the line. What alarmed all of us was the fact that several of those clauses dealt with future children, not as a hypothetical. Like several people suggested, I have a feeling he fully intended on getting me pregnant to keep me trapped and tied to him. There are 3 other locations my job could send me to, and as a precaution, I've begun looking into all 3 cities and housing in those areas just in case one of them is where they send me. Even if they don't have an opening that they can push me into, then I will just have to quit, move, and figure things out on my own. I have enough money to live and survive for a few months until I can pick up another job. Unfortunately, all of our friends are mutual and would likely be unaware of the consequences of saying or sharing anything I do or say with my husband. I don't have any surviving close family, and obviously my in-laws are not a good resource to rely on. I am on my own, unfortunately, other than the wonderful bonds I've begun to make here. I will update again if I get more information or if something else happens. Otherwise, I'll update when my work gets back to me. I do plan on leaving before he returns, though, just to make sure that I'm not anywhere near here at that time. Update 2. Good news. My work has an opening that I qualify for, which will not only move me across the country, but also comes with a salary increase. I've started telling my in-laws and friends that I'm planning a surprise outing for my husband and me when he gets back. This way, if people see me out and about, they won't give me odd looks. I've even gone as far as asking my mother-in-law to show me his favorite recipes to keep up the pretense. Meanwhile, I've found a small moving company that is willing to work even during a storm. This is important because in 5 days we're supposed to get hit with a large storm front. I plan to shut off the breaker and tell my husband that we lost power if he asks, just as several people here suggested. I'll even send him a short clip of the storm to make it more believable. I will have all of my belongings moved that afternoon, and I will be flying out once the weather has cleared enough to do so. I have a lawyer who will handle pushing my divorce through, and I've filled out the necessary paperwork so that I don't have to be here for it. I'm not suing for assets or alimony, and I've shredded his divorce papers as well. I've set up a cheap payphone plan through Cricket until this is all over, at which point I will find a new carrier, number, and phone. The current phone will be wiped and left behind. My laptop is provided by my work, and the IT department has thoroughly inspected it and confirmed it is clean. No other electronics aside from my laptop and new phone will be coming with me. If Alex needs to talk to me, he can do so through my lawyer. I'm hoping that nothing else happens and that he doesn't suspect anything until after I've left. I'm not planning to turn the breaker back on when I leave. He can do that when he gets home. My work is covering the plane ticket, so that's one expense I don't have to worry about. Update 3. It's been a busy week, but I've accomplished so much. Firstly, I am now out of the house and currently staying in a hotel while I search for an apartment. It's a big city, bustling with people no matter where you look. Back home, we experienced a pretty severe storm system that lasted 2 days, with high winds, thunder, lightning, and even hail everywhere. I didn't take much from the house, just my documents, clothes, and important sentimental items. I left all the furniture and electronics behind. Before leaving, I cleaned the house from top to bottom and took pictures on my phone to ensure he couldn't claim I damaged anything. My lawyer has already initiated divorce proceedings, and my husband will be served on the 8th. His plane is scheduled to land early in the morning, and the sheriff will be at the house waiting for him. He is very concerned about public appearances and reputation. My lawyer will also call him to inform him that I am more than willing to publicly disclose everything about his actions if it means securing my freedom from him. I am prepared to go to court for as long as necessary to get this divorce finalized. I haven't informed our friends or his in-laws yet. I plan to do that while he is on the flight to prevent him from finding out before he's served the divorce papers. I will be calling around to explain why we're getting divorced, in an effort to prevent him from twisting the situation into somehow being my fault. I don't want him claiming I had an affair or something else, so I need to get the truth out before he can manipulate the narrative. I'm doing okay. I'm tired, but I feel almost jittery and off-kilter. I keep looking over my shoulder and monitoring what I say, even when I don't really need to anymore. Hopefully that feeling will fade soon. My work is covering the cost of the hotel, and I'm working on getting my other things in order. I also need to find a new GP because I want to get a full checkup just to make sure everything is okay. I'm not sure when my next update will be, probably when the divorce papers are filed or if we have to go to court to push them through. I'll try to keep my head up, but it feels like I'm in a whirlwind with so many things to do and think about. I kind of thought it would be easier once I got out of the house, but while the fear is smaller, somehow the number of tasks only seems to have grown. Update 4. Sorry I haven't updated for a while. Things got hectic and a bit chaotic, honestly. Firstly, I'm still working on getting an apartment and have applications in at 3 different places. Hopefully, I'll hear back from them soon. I'm continuing to go into work at the new location, so I don't have to worry about burning through my emergency savings completely. I've received a lot of emails from Alex, his family, and our old friend group, all asking question after question. I have only sent one return email to Alex explaining that I don't believe we are truly compatible and that it is best we separate now. I mentioned that his treatment of me, despite my having done nothing to deserve it, was just as much of a deal breaker as cheating would be for him. I ended the email by stating that I would not be contacting him further and that any additional communication would be handled through my lawyer. For his family and friends, I typed up one email outlining everything that had happened and why I left. I told them I wished them no ill will, but emphasized that such treatment of his wife and partner was not acceptable. I also expressed the hope that, should Alex get remarried in the future, they would support both partners and not just Alex. According to my lawyer, Alex was livid when he was served. The sheriff actually ended up booking him for assault on an officer and menacing due to the threats he was shouting. His father bailed him out within a few hours, but with the sheriff's testimony, my lawyer believes I have a very good chance of getting a restraining order. Upon returning to the house, Alex apparently lost his temper again. He broke the dining table into pieces, destroyed the TV, and put several holes in the walls. This information came from one of our friends who reported that Alex had called him to help clean up the mess. My lawyer already has pictures of the house that I took, complete with timestamps as evidence that nothing had been damaged by me. My friend also reported that Alex tried to claim I had been the one to trash the house, but the holes in the wall were at head height. Alex is 6'3" and I'm 5'4", so he knew that was false. Either way, taking those pictures will definitely help me. So thank you everyone here for the advice because I never would have thought of that on my own. My work won't share details of where I am because I deal with some higher-end clientele who value security. That information won't be gossiped about, and no, I'm not some stripper or escort. I deal with contracts, notary services, and business management. As such, even if Alex tried to use my workplace to find me, he wouldn't succeed. Update on leaving. To start, no, I didn't bring my car with me. The public transportation here is efficient enough that I don't need one. I have secured an apartment and the building has excellent security measures. You need a key card to enter, and there is a security guard stationed at a desk right by the entrance. As part of my lease agreement, I provided them with photos of Alex and his family, ensuring that even if they somehow locate me, they won't be allowed in. The responses I received from the emails varied significantly. Alex's family accused me of overreacting and insisted that I owe Alex an apology for the trouble this has caused him. They are particularly concerned about the pending criminal charges, which could jeopardize his job if he is convicted. Alex himself sent a lengthy email, filled with apologies and pleas for me to return home. He expressed his worry for my well-being and stated that he is willing to attend therapy if it would appease me. He wants us to stay together and believes that my leaving was an inappropriate response to his genuine concern for my health and safety. Our friends gave rather tepid replies, suggesting that they never thought Alex would harm me and that I shouldn't let my imagination run wild. While I wish I could say I was surprised by their lack of support, I'm honestly not. Alex intends to contest the divorce, but I am letting my lawyer handle everything. Additionally, I am pursuing a protective order against him. Once my apartment application was approved, I took further steps to protect myself. I froze my credit, changed my phone carrier and number, and ensured that none of my documents list Alex as my next of kin or power of attorney. Some have asked why I am so cautious about Alex and his potential future actions. The answer is relatively simple. My grandmother. I adored her deeply. As a teenager, she explained why my grandfather was never around. He was extremely abusive and manipulative. In her generation, divorce was not a viable option, and she wouldn't have been able to buy a house or secure a good enough job to support herself and my mother alone. Consequently, she endured his abuse and protected my mom as best as she could until my grandfather passed away. Whenever I feel like I might be overreacting, I remember how she always wished she had recognized my grandfather's true nature early on when she might have been able to annul the marriage. I'm not sure when I'll update again. Perhaps when the divorce is finalized or if something significant happens. Until then, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. How do you like this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.